Hello, everybody, and welcome to this third part of the TEPPEN reveal cards. Probably the last one. There is no such thing as a fourth color, as far as I understand. But anyway, yeah. So now we got some purple cards to reveal. There hasn't been a lot, but let's talk about what we've seen so far. So the first one they revealed is Cold, is a 2-cost card, and it is known as, excuse me for a second, 3 swords, pretty much. I guess there's much to it.
That is in fact 3 swords.
That is exactly 3 swords right over there. Give 1 friendly unit with an MP cost of 4 or less after dealing damage to the enemy hero. Return 1 enemy unit with an MP cost of 3 or less to the X pocket. Now, I know for a fact that based on this, it can be argued that people are going to complain this is gatekeeping us again from playing 3 cost units.
No, it's not.
I remember seeing that.
This isn't even close to as oppressive as Alfred.
I don't think it's bad as Alfred.
No, certainly not.
It's bouncing, but I take it you're not exactly a fan of this one, are you, Hunter?
Not really, but like how I was telling you, it's really good against black, and you could pair it up with that new Morgan, which has flight and agility.
Yep. So yeah, it's all about hitting face, whichever unit. Like, it is most better on flying units. I guess you can throw it on grounded units, but like obviously better on flying units. But what do you think, Chop?
I mean, yeah, I think this is pretty fair in that, you know, it's decent purple removal. Obviously it has risk in that it's an action, it has to stick, and they have to actually connect to the face. And you can only run 3 of them, unlike Alfred, which somehow you can run like 14 of over the course of a game in any given game against black. So you know, it's not like it's going to be an issue where, because even if you somehow bring that unit back, you know, the effect isn't still going to be stapled on there. I don't know. It seems like a good tool in the toolkit for purple. I don't know exactly what kind of deck this is going to fit in. There's a couple different options. Honestly, like even a 1-of might work for something like I don't even know. Right? It's not going to work in big rezo because the units have to be cheap. It could work in 4s, but that's not really a deck anymore. Although who knows? Maybe that'll actually work out after things rotate and there's new stuff. All the old 4 stuff is rotating, so I just don't know what deck this goes in, I guess, besides just like aggro decks, right?
Yeah.
Like black purple flying dive bomb aggro probably likes this card, but also I don't know if they're really going to play it because they're just going to want to play buffs for damage.
Yeah.
Hard to say. I mean,
It's
like
a control
it.
card, but it doesn't fit in the control shell that purple runs.
Yeah, I mean, if it bounced 4 or less, I think it'd be pretty nuts. But since it only bounces 3, it's kind of limited to what units you can bounce.
Yeah, they went ahead and gave it the Beltway treatment before it was even released.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, they made it fair.
They realized we've released all these new 3 MP cards, but no one plays them. Let's just make sure there's a way to deal with it, I guess, so everyone can play the 3s. But yeah, look, I like it, but yeah, I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I'm on board with the effect. I just don't know what kind of deck it's going to work in, or where you're going to play that card.
Yeah, that's pretty much the idea of it. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. All right, the next one, which I know a bunch of us are fans of, the new Virgil. 4-cost human demon, 1/6. He has Resonate. Give 1 random friendly unit plus 1 attack and spillover. Now, apparently he can target himself, which I forgot to take into account.
It does say not 1 other random friendly unit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
they should have gave him the secret, dude.
I know he should have got the secret, I think.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the art's nice.
Art is nice. I think now that I realize that, I'm like, okay, now I think this guy's pretty boss.
Yeah,
he
maybe this is the deck, right? That previous card works in, is this small rezo deck.
Which is funny because they didn't give him +1/+1. They just give him +1. So it's like we're not gonna have him give HP. We're just gonna have him give attack.
Yeah, well, I mean that already happened with X, right? That became such a problem. So
yeah,
no, attack only. I mean,
that's why they nerfed Trish, right?
The spillover can be really good depending on how you set this up, right? Like, so you set it up to go onto some random big unit, and suddenly they also have spillover. Good times.
Good times. Trish, Trish is locked.
If somehow you give all your units spillover with this effect too, I mean that's pretty nice.
I mean, in a Resonate deck, 3 Resonate triggers is not hard to achieve, so
No.
it could theoretically happen pretty quickly. Although he can hit the same unit more than once. It's not like he's prevented from continually hitting the same thing. So
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, it can go on the same unit as many times as possible because it is permanent attack and spillover. So I'm cool with that. I like him for that reason. So yeah, pretty boss card actually.
The dual typing also pretty relevant. Human Demon are both relevant in purple.
Yes.
Particularly Demon.
We could probably use some of those Demon cards that came out to probably work with him now.
There's a bunch of Demon cards that don't see much play, so theoretically, yes.
Yeah, the Demon synergy was something that was cool. The Demon chess pieces.
All the chess pieces are demons, yeah. And then there's a bunch of other ones. The I don't know, Argosax, I think, is pretty cool. See what the Ascended one, and you get the Wolf also. Yeah, that's always seemed pretty, in a vacuum at least, pretty powerful. Just again, not really a deck for it.
Yeah, but
buffing the Queen would be pretty nice too because she has agility.
Yeah,
you give her over. That's pretty nice.
That Queen is going to be stupid. But yeah, so I really like the new Virgil, so that's cool. Nice buff for purple there. So kudos to purple.
Hopefully a small Rezo deck can come to fruition. And the hard part about playing that is that for a Rezo deck to work, you have to have enough actions to continually be triggering it. And if you only run small dudes, it's easier to lose them than if you're playing big Rezo, where you can stick one big thing and it by itself can win you the game. This card by itself is going to have a really hard time just winning you the game, unlike, say, an Ibuki, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But it's a great support card if the shell can be put together. Yeah, if there's enough support.
Yeah, if there is definitely enough support. So, hopefully. All right, and
all for that works in 2-color.
Hopefully. Now, we have one more purple card, but this is what was revealed today. We've technically already seen this in the TEPPEN live broadcast when they talked about Ada Wong and all that. They did already reveal this, but we just never got to find the card, or I never really got to see it. Anyway.
Ben, you there?
I muted myself. I just realized.
Hey, there he is. All right.
Sorry, I'll repeat myself. This card is called Nowhere to Run. As it stands. It is a card that has already been revealed. TEPPEN revealed this in the live broadcast talking about Ada. But it never was put out there. But anyway, yeah. 2-cost legendary. Activate the following effects based on the number of your locked board spaces. 1. Return 1 random enemy unit with 5 HP or less to the deck. 2. Give up 2 random units in your hand or X pocket with an MP cost of 2 or more, -2.
Wait, then it says 1+ or 2+, so that means you get all the effects.
Yes.
Depending on how many.
If you were at 2 or 3 self-block spaces, you get all the effects.
You get all the effects, yeah. I was reading that last part and I got confused reading it. Give up to 2 random units in your hand or X pocket with an MP cost of 2 or more, -2 MP. Their MP cannot drop below 1, obviously. So, yeah, if you've got 3 locked board slots with this card, you can bounce a unit with 5 HP or less to the deck, one of your enemy units, and 2 cards in your hand that have an MP cost of 2 or more get a -2.
Yeah, it's like the value is absurd, right? Assuming that, and I have to assume that we will see enough support for the self-lock archetype, because that's one of, like Ada's arts kind of revolve around that. So I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of cards that support that. But I mean, this seems easy enough to activate. Bounce to deck is really powerful.
Yep.
Much better than bounce to pocket.
5 HP or less is pretty relevant.
Yeah, that's wide open. Well, that's going to hit the vast majority of things in this game. And you can, if not, if there's something you need to kill, you chip it with 1 block, and then you can bounce it back with this. And then, of course, getting 4 MP discount for 2 up front is like that's ridiculous, right? that's so much MP gain.
Quite intense, actually. So yeah,
especially if you get this off on blue mana, right? And then
it's free.
You've done 4 reduction in hand.
So yeah, it is. I'm trying to think the best way to play it, but I guess we need to see more support for the whole lock your board crap, so that to get this going.
But I think we will. ideally, there's at least one inexpensive unit that, when played, also just locks one of your board slots for like 10 to 13 seconds, right?
Yes, we'll be revealing that.
As long as they print that, it's probably entirely viable. As long as there's one, 3-cost unit that gives you a self-lock, you can probably play this deck. Yeah.
Well, we're revealing that card just in a moment. But yeah, so I've noticed a trend now that they are... Most of these types of destructions or whatever are targeting 5 HP or less. This is the next one for them to do. That's on purple side. Mm-hmm. Black's been getting that treatment a lot, which I think is kind of good. Yep. Yeah. So they're foregoing the whole MP curve, and now they're just going for 5 HP. I think that's kind of better because you have to work for that 5 HP instead of, oh, you've got a 4 MP? Bye.
Yeah. Which... That still exists in Black. Even after rotation, there's still the 4 cost that does that, but that's way more fair than Fate.
Than Fate was, yeah.
Yeah.
Hunter, got any thoughts on that?
I mean, the card's solid. Bouncing 5 HP unit for 2 is always good. And then getting that MP reduction is nice as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it just seems like good value. We've seen a little bit of resonate support. This is an action, so
Yeah, so
good.
We've already seen this, but this was revealed, so it's like, all right, whatever. This is that was revealed. So that's pretty much it. And the other one that they revealed, guys, was
something really important for that card as well. Real quick, sorry. Ceasefire is rotating out, so this is kind of going to take that spot.
Oh yeah, Ceasefire will be gone. I forgot.
Yeah. Which is Ceasefire is probably the best card for that archetype, and it's rotating out, which is unfortunate. But
yeah,
I know.
It's a shame.
It's a shame.
But you have unlimited if you want to test with. If you want to play Ceasefire,
there might be some crazy unlimited deck with all the the weird purple legendaries like Ceasefire and Virus and all that. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, that's why we need more of this. Either lock your board or lock your opponent's board. Locked both your boards at the same time. Stuff like that. There needs to be some more cards based on that stuff. So
yeah, hopefully I imagine we'll see quite a few. As that is the hero, setup for this set. Yeah,
100% agree. All right, and now it's gonna shimmy myself away, but we got the secret.
Speaking of board lock archetype.
So this card, Kyoku Maria, and if you're curious, that is the same person that was in the last card. In the lore of Sengoku, the dude is her sister and Oichi is his wife. So the man's caught between rock and a hard place. Whenever one of your board slots are inflicted with lock, gain +2 attack. So she gains +1 to attack. She gains +2 attack whenever one of your board slots are inflicted with lock. So when lock is removed, deal damage to one random enemy unit equal to own attack and give your hero +2 life. So I mean, effectively with this unit, you want to drop her when you've locked one or two of your boards, so she gets a good 4 attack. +4 on top of...
Well, she doesn't gain it unless she's already on board when the lock happens, right? She has to be on board, then when the lock goes off, she gains 2 attack. So you play her first, then you start locking your own board. And then when those locks come up, you get the additional effects. Yeah, she's like an engine for locking, which is great. I think that's super cool. That she's a particularly potent engine card in that deck. If there has to be enough cheap ways to lock your own slots, preferably attached to at least one unit, because that makes it instant.
Yes.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about the card, she gets hit by Alexia, right? So you're doing all this work to buff this card up, and then she just gets destroyed instantly.
Yes.
Alexia rotates though, right?
Alexia rotates.
Yeah. But we'll still have to deal with
so for
2 months of Alexia.
Yeah, but ultimately, the next 2 months are just going to be absurd anyways, because we're getting another set thrown on top of all the other stuff we already have. I don't foresee any of this stuff shaking up the current meta in a major way.
Yeah, and I don't.
I don't think the meta is going to shift at all with the new hero, with Ada coming in, and I'm sure some of these cards, the more powerful ones, we'll see play. Like Green's got a great new legendary to jam in their deck of awesome legendaries, but for the most part, I don't think a lot of this is going to come into play until after the three set rotation in the next set.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah, we'll have. It's like I feel like some of the cards may do some stuff supporting existing decks, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't see any of the brand new stuff like suddenly being able to push out any of the existing archetypes that are already so strong.
Yeah, because especially because they're so fast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're really optimized. Those decks have been worked on for a long time, for the most part. So it's going to be really hard to make any major shifts or changes until the following set. Yeah, but then things are going to be, ideally good to great.
Yeah.
I mean, even so, I still think like the decks that are like going to be built like with the cards we're getting, I think there'll be enough for the deck to maybe be like tier 2. Like maybe like a high tier 2, low tier 2. I don't think it'll be like shaking up the meta or anything, but post rotation maybe has the potential.
Post rotation is going to be pretty wide open right now, especially just because we still have like 1.5 sets of cards that we need to see what they're going to add. We know what we're losing, but we don't know everything we're gaining.
Yeah.
So it's really
going to be
wide open.
Yeah, post rotation is going to be like the wild west, to be honest.
I'm excited about that. I think that's going to be great. I think the game really needs that, and it's going to be really healthy.
Yes.
To have all this experimentation and finding new things and, things that had been overlooked previously that are now suddenly viable because the most dominant things got pushed out.
Definitely opens up to creativity in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We can't wait for that, but yeah, like I said, cards like this card is definitely going to just be thrown into any existing green deck because why the hell wouldn't you play this? The give a unit death and then gain death and plus reset.
It's so good. Yep.
Like it's just specific cards that's going to be thrown into existing decks. They'll work. I still think the first hero out of Ada and most likely the second one, but I feel like the first one, Ada, will be the most used deck that will have a viable deck working around her to throw in, and then after that, the other decks kind of just take over until.
I mean, right now, how the meta is, the best cards are the generic ones, right? The ones that can fit in any deck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been the issue.
I mean, that's why like legendary green and legendary red are so potent right now.
Because they're just powerful cards. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what you're playing against. I'm gonna do this really powerful thing. If you don't have an answer, it just wins me the game. And then I'm gonna do it again, and then I'm gonna do it again, and then I'm gonna do it again. Right? Just having like five of those in a row is really tough to deal with.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, that was pretty much it for today. That's all the cards that we got to see. Red and green and purple. That's pretty much all the colors. So
that's it. That's everything. There's no more colors.
Yeah, no more colors.
Great.
It's great. It's a good feeling. We'll just wait till post rotation and then we'll wait and see what happens. But we'll enjoy the new next 2 or 3 months of whatever of Ada and all this stuff, and then we'll go from there. But I'd like to thank again Chopstick and our voice and our head Expert Hunter. Thanks for your input, fellas.
Thanks for having me on. I enjoy doing these with you, and yeah,
same then.
No worries.
I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be a great time in 2 months.
Yeah. What is it? So first on the first, I'll most likely be streaming it. So I'm gonna be on the board of just like I want to jump in. We'll just buy packs and craft whatever we want and try to build a deck. So whatever.
Good luck.
That's how we do it, and then we'll see from there. But again, thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave those likes and comments below as always, and we'll see you guys in the next videos. Ciao and byes from us.